So hey YouTube, it's me again. Um, I posted my last video. It's uploading. So I wanted to finish off what I was talking about. This is part two to that video. I never make a part two, but today I feel like I need to. My first video covered what's going on with my T and my doc and her issues and how hurt I was about it and what type of frame of mind it's put me in. So I left off with talking about my conversation with the nurse, who is originally the first person I spoke to about this, who actually has been a good advocate for me, and talked to the director of the clinic, and Doc had had agreed to let me start T without therapy being complete. To the 20th was supposed to be my initial T day, but it didn't happen. There was some things I had to do. Well, no, it wasn't some things I had to do, but it was some things my doctor wanted to do first, her so-called research, after I provided everything for her. I won't go back into it because it's a lot that I already covered, so you guys can just go back to the first part of it. It says doctors failed me, and this is part two to that. So the conversation left off with talking to the nurse, who actually was flabbergasted and completely lost for words when she spoke with me, because I was one bawling. I'm at my kid's school, me and my girl, and we're trying to pick them up, so I sent her to get them while I'm on the phone taking this phone call. And I mean, I was bawling. My hair is growing, guys. It's hair. My hair is growing on my face. Looks, I'm getting something nice going, right? So so I was in tears and I told her everything, and she was like, "I'm speechless. I know what this means to you, and I apologize that you're going through this. I never thought that you would. Everything was good to go, but she wanted me to be assured that it's not the end. Um, this is just a bump in the road." And it calmed my nerves a little bit, because I've been thinking for the past few days, like, there's a reason why T hasn't started for me. And I think it's mainly because my blood pressure's been here and there. And it was really high yesterday, 167 over 110. I won't explain blood pressure, but it's very high. And it was normally not like that, not lately. But I think anxiety and a couple other things played a part in it. Something I took triggered it. So anyway, so she told me, like, that's not the end. Don't let her do this to you. Don't let her make you feel this way. To feel so dead inside is an awful feeling. And she just wanted me to be safe and take care of myself and know that this is just a hurdle, but we'll get over it. So she basically told me this is protocol. When a doctor decides that they don't want to do something to help a patient or follow a patient, it has to be documented, and there has to be a reason put in my file. She pulled my chart and she saw nothing. So there's no documentation that she made any phone calls. The only documentation is the pharmacy reached her back. That was it. So according to my file, it looked as if Tia is being pursued and she's trying to give me what I want. But that's not the case. So Michelle said, we have a few days to the weekend, and then I have a follow-up with Dr. Smith. And yes, guys, I have to go see her again. I originally was not going to see her because I was so heartbroken. I did not want to put myself in her space, and it wasn't out of fear that I didn't know what I might do. It was out of what I might, yeah, right. But the fear was that I don't want to. I don't want to get so upset that it may put me in the hospital. So stress-induced hypertension plays a lot to do with your heart, especially. I mean, stress-induced hypertension can affect your heart, and not just that, it can cause stroke. And though I've been cleared to take medication because it's been contained, that doesn't mean that I can't get that upset that my blood pressure will shoot so high that I could have a stroke, because it's possible. Knock on wood. So that was my biggest fear. And not to mention the fact that after feeling what I feel today, I did not want to relive that moment. And because I know she's so combative, she's not going to hear me out anyway. I basically had to make her hear me out. And I'm not going to argue with somebody in public inside of the office. I did argue with her in my own home, but I did it in a way where she can understand me and she can hear me. It wasn't a yelling argument. It was clearly, I'm going to get my point across and you're going to be quiet and listen. But I'm not going to do that in a clinic, because people are there to check on their babies and their pregnancies and stuff, because it is an OBGYN clinic. So Doc originally was trying to say that they did not have the proper setup, basically, to treat me. That's what it boiled down to. She says you need a GYN, a personal physician, a therapist, and whatnot, and everybody needs to be able to contact each other and work together. I don't know about y'all, but I have never heard of that. Have y'all ever heard of that? When people actually from different places actually congregate with each other and talk about one patient, unless you got a meeting that you're gonna set up. I don't know where that happens at. I mean, yeah, you can maybe correspond, but therapists are, unless it's something that is mentally wrong with me, you can't disclose any information unless this has to do with like something really, really, really major happening with me. But basically, what she wanted to do was to see, quote unquote, if my mental state was okay. Crazy. She said, I read up on you and I just want to make sure that everything is okay and this and that and the other. Okay, you read up on my file. I dated guys. Okay. That doesn't have anything to do with who I am. When I was in men's clothes from the very beginning, I had boyfriends. I'm more masculine than those boyfriends. Hey, she failed to realize is sexuality and gender does not sit in the same pot. Who I believe I am and who I'm attracted to does not connect. But hey, I guess she wanted this. I guess because what I'm doing is just analyzing her reasons, basically. I kind of jumped a little bit, but that's where I'm coming with. I'm thinking she was, not only was she afraid, but she was wondering if this is what I really want. Look at me, y'all. I'm a black man trapped in a black female body that lives in a city that's small as shit. There's people everywhere that can judge me, that can look at me crazy, that do look at me crazy, that misgender me, everything. Don't get me wrong. I'm beautiful as a female. Hey, I have a nice face. Hey, but this is who I am. I didn't want to be this. I would look like that lost female that I once showed you a picture of in my very first, well, probably like my third video, when I showed you guys how I look as a female. If I wanted to be a female, I wouldn't look like this. I wouldn't put myself in the community against any type of prejudice, or putting myself in a position where I'm going to be looked at a little bit more differently, or put in a position where when I go to the kids' school, they don't know what to do because the teachers are got to be careful. And it's just so many instances, especially me being that I have children. And my children's ages range from 17, who's my son's birthday is tomorrow, y'all, so happy thoughts for him. And from 17 to 5. If this is not who I am, I would not look like this. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. And for some reason, I think she's clueless. But anyway, so sum this all up. Dr. Smith will not take me down, and she will not get the best of me, and she will not push me aside. She won't. Because even if I have to see another doctor, that's how it's going to be. Guys, I tell you, today has been one of those days. And if I didn't want this, I don't think I've wanted this in any, some mixed, gotta get my words straight. Today really showed me how bad I want this. the way I look inside, the way I felt inside today, though, I felt crushed and just awful. And I couldn't breathe but for so long, you know? I mean, it was so hard to breathe. I, life is hard for me. And I've had a crazy week. I had everything from my dad messaging me God, may God forgive you. I mean, I've had the universe against me. And now this, and I was just tormented by it earlier, and just like I felt so dead inside. But what is coming up to is I'm not gonna let it get the best of me, because though my day has been postponed, it's coming, and I'm gonna really be able to finish what y'all see. Because right now I'm swole up. I got my hair growing out, and I mean, physically I can transform as much as I could, but it's nothing like the tea, y'all. The tea gonna bring my voice all the way down and keep it down, hopefully, the way I wanted to, and it'll give me the rest of them features. I've done all that I can, and now I'm doing the protein shake. So I told y'all before, I'm like super swole. Even my chest is popping out, and my face is swole, and my neck's swole, because I'm in there trying to hit the weights hard. My body transforms real fast too, y'all, because I know if y'all look back a couple of days ago, I was smaller. But anyway, I just want to let y'all know that I'm keeping my head up, and it's gonna work out, because Dr. Fish was the original person who gave the okay, and he's the director, and he has the last words. So I'm gonna let you guys know soon. He comes in on Wednesday, and I have to see her on Monday, but I'm going to see her too. Update on my blood pressure. Even though I was like super stressed out, my blood pressure actually is stabilizing, which is good, because I calmed down earlier, and I took some garlic tablets because I didn't want to take the fish oil just yet. Because guys, I did go back to taking fish oil, 1 tablet instead of that extra strong omega-3, because I do know that the fish oil did contribute to bringing my blood pressure down some. I did decide that it's more healthier for me to go ahead and continue the fish oil, even though it stinks and down there stinks. I'm sacrificing it for the greater good of my health. So I didn't take fish oil today, but I will. I'm taking garlic tablets, because garlic tablets also help with blood pressure. So it's actually doing good, and I'm having these headaches, so that's why my eyes look like this. I cried so much, my head's pounding. But yeah, I'm gonna be all right. And I just want other people to know that it may seem like the end of the world at times, but pray and keep your head up, because I did pray, and I was on my way to get my son from school, and I was crying tears, and here I go, I'm gonna cry again just thinking about it, because I'm like, why is something so good coming and then going like this, and why do I have to go through it? Because to wait so long is hard enough, but to have somebody tell you they're going to do something for you and then decide that they can't handle it is awful. And the only thing I felt in my heart was that, one, I got to get my pressure together, so it may be a reason why. And two, some people need to learn, and I'm just one of them people that tends to teach people stuff everywhere I go, in every person's life that I've ever touched. And even though she's a doctor, she may just need to learn. And so I'm just going to see it as that. I know that God is going to give me what I desire so much in my heart, and I just got to be patient. So I'm going to stop crying. I'm going to try to, but I'm going to say bye to you guys, and everybody be strong. I know it's a lot for me to say right now, but I just want y'all to know to be strong, and one day it'll be your day. Take care.